After a scintillating performance in the first test against the West Indies, India is now eyeing yet another second test victory at the Queen's Park Oval against the home team. India is currently with 288 runs at the loss of 4 wickets on the scorecard after day one, where Virat Kohli remains unbeaten at 87 runs in his 500th international match for India. Captain Rohit Sharma also scored yet another 50 plus in the first innings before getting bowled out by Warikar. A very special mention to the fired-up youngster Yashasvi Jaiswal for his massive 171-run knock in the first test. Yashasvi's picked up just from where he had left and scored another 50 in the second test as well. As a win in the test will result in a series sweep for India. But more importantly, we need to know what is going inside the mindset of the big cricket player, arguably the greatest player currently ruling the planet. It is Virat Kohli, and joining us is his coach. But before we get down to his coach, Mr. Rajkumar Sharma, we go down straight to Vimal Kumar, who's currently in Trinidad and Tobago and at the stadium itself, and he's going to talk about his entire experience and experience of talking to Virat Kohli. Vimal, welcome to the show. We start off with our question. The center of focus is being two stats. One is the 100 test and the second is 500. How was Virat's feeling when you met him personally before the match? Your views?
First of all, thank you so much, Sunil, for having me on NewsX's cricket show all the way from West Indies. And as you are aware, I'm the only cricket journalist who is here to cover this series. And I consider myself very fortunate that I am on the verge of covering a historic match, historic occasion.
Yes.
Virat Kohli playing his 500th international game and on the verge of his 79 international 100, 29th test 100 it would be. And what a remarkable journey it has been. We all know about what Kohli has achieved. But on this tour I have seen Sunil, a different Virat Kohli, someone who could restrain his ego. It's not easy if you look at the kind of batsman he is. I have seen him, and I must tell you, Dominica, he got out after 76 and he was still contented. I will not say happy, but when I saw him walking from the bus, he was still contented. So normally you don't go to the players once they have failed to score a big turn because their mood is not good. But somehow Kohli was very relaxed, very cool, and that gave me confidence. I just say hello, and then Kohli came, and then we chatted together while he was going on the bus, and we nearly spoke for 10 minutes. And I had the audacity, I must say. Generally, I don't ask the players, about their cricket and all that, especially not when they have not been able to score a big innings. But on this occasion, I just tried to commiserate with him, saying that, Virat, you were looking good. It would have been nice, like this, something like this, without in as many words I was using. And he was like, nahi bhaiya, wo, and I will use the Hindi word, nahi bhaiya, wo to theek tha yaar, wicket was difficult. And then he said that challenging wicket, I had no option but to go for my shots. And then we spoke about a lot of other things. But overall, I could sense the mood. He's a determined guy. He looks very determined. He's comfortable. He knows the new generation is coming. In this team, he is not the Virat Kohli he used to be. Like if you look at even ICC test ranking, Rohit Sharma is among top 10, Virat Kohli is not. So that is something unthinkable, and a lot of young players are coming. But Virat Kohli has not let his ego come into this. And that's a remarkable thing, Sunil, and I hope the next day we are joining, we will be talking about it, 100, his achievement, his milestone, big innings, and whatnot. Who knows, he might speak to the press as well, because it's been a while, almost more than a year, where he has spoken to the press. Last time I remember, he was in Asia and I was in that press conference, and since then I have been traveling with the team. I have covered each and every series, especially the overseas one. So let's hope so, Sunil, that when we talk tomorrow again, we will have a lot more to discuss.
Well, we have certainly a lot more to discuss right now, but just a quick word on the pitch and how it is playing, because the second session was a little tough where India had lost a few wickets. But quick word on that, and then we go on to Mr. Rajkumar Sharma to find out the new version of Virat Kohli.
If you look at pitch, there was a the pitch curator, I spoke to the curator before the match, and he was saying that, bounce, true bounce, a lot of bounce and swing movement, seam movement, and historically this ground off late has been very conducive for the fast bowler. But sadly, Rohit Sharma and this Yashasvi Jaiswal, these pair were in such a terrific form after scoring 100 runs partnership in Dominica. They continued it, and they are the first one in this century from India to have back-to-back 100-run partnership. Last time, if I remember, if I'm correct, then
Yes.
it was Sadgopan Ramesh and Devang Gandhi way back in 1999 against New Zealand, and that too in India. So I don't remember last time when an Indian opening pair scoring back-to-back 100 in test matches as a pair. You have to go that far. So that pitch doesn't look that threatening, and
Right.
I think in hindsight West Indies would regret
Right.
that they should have batted first on this wicket. But I think still that India might again try to bat long, bat deep,
Right.
and ensure that they don't have to chase too many in the fourth innings.
Right. Thank you, Vimal. Now we'll go on to the big player, the big coach, Mr. Rajkumar Sharma. Sir, we heard from Vimal that he's a completely different man, very silent, very steady right now. What is the mental thing that he makes his makeup before a small team or a big team? Does he change his gears, or is it just same as usual?
Sunil, first of all, I must congratulate Virat, for playing his 500th international match, and it's a big moment for all Indians, and especially for me. I'm really proud of him that he's playing his 500th international game. And about the preparation, I've always mentioned that he really prepares very well. He prepares very hard against any particular team, and especially for Test cricket, because even I feel, and he also feels that actual cricket is Test cricket,
Yes.
and he really works hard for his cricket. And the way he played in the last game, and after the match, he was talking to me, and we were discussing about the wicket and the outfield. So it was a very, very difficult wicket to bat, and the outfield was slow, but he still, restricted his game. He's an aggressive player, but he changed his game, and, he tried to stay on the ground and, wicket and scored slowly because the wicket was not coming.
Right.
Here also, it was not very conducive to batting, but still he batted beautifully, and I think it would be a historic occasion that he gets 100 in his 500th international.
Sir, historic for the entire cricket nation and the cricket loving and the Kohli fans which are across the world. But one question, is it a great departure from what the situation was with him a month and a half ago, where at the WTC, where he was really pulling it up, it was a big occasion from there? Do you see a different departure from that? The guy who had let down by a good delivery, and there was a somber mood, and now he's really picking up his stuff and going on to his big test 100.
I must say he was playing well in Oval also. Sunil, you were there
Yes.
with me in England.
Yes.
He was batting well. The whole stadium was cheering for him, and Indian hopes were on him that he'll get us through. Unfortunately, he got out on that a wide delivery, and somehow we lost that match. So he was, quite sad about it, and
I know.
he's making up for it now, and the way he's batting, so that shows that he has a lot of cricket left in him. Maybe another 3-4 years he can bat like this and
Well-
help Indian team, and give happiness to his fans and the whole country.
Absolutely, he's giving happiness, and it's a big statement when you say that he's still got 3-4 years of test cricket left in him. Well, that's a big news for all the fans. The cheers are going to be around, high fives are going to be there on the social media. But I'll take a step back. You seem to know everything that happens outside, the discussion, the talks. Just take the fans through, just give a peep in his discussion, his mindset, and the conversation, whatever you can share at this forum, sir.
Look, Sunil, everybody knows that the past 2 years were not very good for him, and everybody wanted him to do well. He was working hard, but somehow it was not getting. That the conversion was not there. He was getting into 40s, 50s, and what previously everybody knew about Virat Kohli was that once he gets 30, 40, he'll score big. But that was not happening. But fortunately now he's picked up. He's got 200-300s in all formats now. He's got
Yes.
hundreds in past 6-8 months. So he's looking back the same Virat Kohli what we used to look at. The whole country wanted. So now again he's looking in that same frame of mind. He's very relaxed. He's enjoying his cricket. That is what is seen on the ground also. His commitment has always been there. He gives more than 100% to any match which he plays. If he doesn't feel motivated, he won't play. At times, I tell him to keep his intensity low, but he says if I don't give my 100%, I'll leave. So
Right.
he's that sort of guy who gives more than 100% for the Indian team, and he's very passionate about his team that we should be number one again. And really, the type of fitness regime he is following. So I think he's got a lot of cricket left in him.
Well, you're a strict, hard taskmaster and you're like the perfect officer. But when it comes to watching yesterday's match, I remember speaking to you, you were a little emotional. When the world starts celebrating the landmark and starts comparing, the comparison happens between Sachin and him, then obviously the stats speak for themselves. But you tend to become a little emotional on these things. Just take us through your feelings yesterday when people were congratulating you.
Yeah, everybody congratulated me, and I spoke to him also. He was pretty happy about it. It is a big milestone, Sunil. Look, playing 500 international game for your country is a
Right.
big achievement. And, a lot of people send me a lot of stats comparing him with Sachin. They are both great cricketers. On numbers, he is above Sachin at this level, but Sachin has been a great player. Great motivator, the guy who played for 24 years for the country. It
Right.
was a remarkable, record. So both are great players, and we shouldn't be comparing both of them because Sachin has always been his idol, and he has always said that I have, grown up seeing him.
But
So it
like a
is
fan, sir, so sorry, I must interrupt, but like a fan, the fans want to know, do you get emotional on such landmarks? And because I've seen the conversation that you both of you have, and you tend to become like the father and son. Do you get very emotional?
Definitely, bound to be. He's like a son only. Look, Sunil, he's with me when he was not even 10, and still we have got the same relation what it used to be 25 years back. So the bonding is so much that on such occasion, he also gets emotional, and we really like to celebrate it together. So I mean, it is from both the sides that the bonding is there, and on any big occasion, the whole country celebrates, and it's a proud moment for me and my academy. We celebrated in our academy yesterday, and every kid wanted to congratulate him, wish him luck for for his future, and they put it on the Insta also. Everybody was congratulating him because it's a big occasion, and what as a coach, what else one can expect that his disciple is playing 500th international match for the country, and that too with such distinction. So it's been a creditable journey, and I wish it continues like this.
Well, absolutely. Well, you spoke about the celebrations that happened. Let me just also speak to Vimal Kumar, who's currently at the stadium. Vimal, what is the scenario there for the fans? How are they egged up? And I've heard that they brought in some sweets for the celebration as well. Just take us through if you have any fans around there, Vimal, if you can hear me.
There were not, honestly, there were not too many fans, and those who came, obviously, they wanted a, piece of Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. Prior to the test match, the fans could go near to the players, and but this time, because of security and anti-corruption and all that, the fan could not go nearby, and we could not manage to speak. But definitely, I can promise you, the moment Virat gets 100, you will get a lot of fans on your channel.
Well, we'll be waiting for the 100, the fans and the euphoria around it. But one quick question before we move on to Mr. Rajkumar Sharma, perhaps the final question. How do you see day 2 turning out for the Team India and the fans?
Well, I think the day two West Indies obviously would like to bounce back. They tried to do that after ordinary first session. They got 4 wickets. Then again in the third session, Virat and Ravindra Jadeja defied them. So it has been some sort of some fair contest. Not if India will be very satisfied. So the next day, tomorrow, another day, the day two. But a lot will depend how Kohli bats and how Jadeja, Ishan Kishan, Ashwin, they all rally around him. Even Unadkat can bat. So I think India will try to, go around 400, 450 plus. And I don't think that would be a big problem for Indian bowlers once Indian batsmen get the.
Well, sir, Mr. Rajkumar Sharma, we'll talk about the second session where India had lost few wickets and then they regrouped together. Will they keep up the tempo? Will they play the baseball style of cricket, or will they play the traditional form, letting the swing seam go in the first hour of the match and then start scoring, building it up from there? Your view, sir, for day two?
Sunil, I think India should carry on in a traditional way, initially at least in the first hour of the game, because if we don't lose a few wickets, early on today, then, Virat getting 100, he can score quickly. And then we have got Ravindra Jadeja, Ishan Kishan also, who scores, pretty fast. So India needs to bat cautiously in the morning. Say for the first hour, Virat should get his 100, which is very, very important. And once he gets his 100, I think then he can take on West Indian fast bowlers, anybody. And we know the capabilities of Virat, how he can score quickly. So it is the early hour which India has to be careful about. And I'm very sure they know their role. And once India gets around 450, then they would be on the dictating seat, and they would be on the driver's seat. So initial part, half an hour or so, is important, and I wish Virat gets his 100 in that period, and then he can take on the West Indian fast bowlers.
So one quick question. This is a fan question that has come, and this is little underhand complimenting you. Do you get nervous like the non-striker end at 90s when Virat goes into the 90s and he tries to build up his 100, considering there's been a drought since last 18 months on his big test 100? Your views, sir?
And not 18 months, Sunil. It has been throughout since his first test match or first international, I would say, whenever he gets near that landmark. It is bound to be, I'm slightly I wouldn't say nervous, but yes, eager that he gets his 100.
So I would interrupt. There's an interjection in the question, and the question is, I'll rephrase it. What is your ritual when he's in 90s? Because you're a former player yourself, and every player has that ritual. So what is your ritual? The fans want to know. Please share it with us.
Look, Sunil, it happens in the family also. Like if he's playing well and he's nearing a landmark, so we ask everybody to be there only till the time he completes his, ton, and that is how it has been happening since years together. It's been a long journey. He has evolved so well in his cricket, and but these rituals have always remained. Even my kids knows that if Virat gets 100, they'll get whatever they ask for, and if he gets out early, so the dad's mood is not good. That is evident in the family itself. And this ritual has always been there that whenever he's playing well, we ask everybody to sit there only and just feel that he gets his big one.
Well, do you remember the last month and a half when he got out in the WTC? You did not speak to anyone for 3 hours. And nice to see the smile coming back. Now we'll take a step back. How is the mood in your academy? Would you celebrate? Will there be doles and will there be cake cutting and the laddu celebration, the usual ones?
Definitely, it happened yesterday also, Sunil. Everybody celebrated, and you can go to Instagram on our West Delhi page also. Everybody congratulated him. We had cake, for Virat's this achievement of Virat's, and let us hope he gets 100, and we celebrate it today also. I'm very hopeful, and I'm very sure it will happen today as well.
Well, one last quick question. What is the advice from 87 to 100? What have you told him? Just go like Virendra Sehwag, hitting 2 sixes and a quick single, or just build it up from where it is? Now let the secrets come out.
No, I've never asked him to play like Virendra Sehwag in late 90s. Sehwag was a brilliant player, great player, I must say. But Virat has a different approach, and I've always maintained first you get your landmark, then you start hitting sixes. So today also I want and believe that he'll go in the same way, that first he gets his 100, then he'll go on to play big shots.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Rajkumar Sharma. Vimal Kumar, who's joined us from West Indies, talking about the insights of the mind thought of a fan there in the stadium and the great player, his way, how he'll build up his century and taking it up from there, and the celebrations, of course.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.